it chapter by chapter, one bite at a time. So many adventures and mountains we can climb. Take it word for word, line by line, one bite at a time.
Welcome to Bite at a Time Books, where we read you your favorite classics one bite at a time. My name is Bree Carlile, and I love to read, and wanted to share my passion with listeners like you. If you want to know what's coming next and vote on upcoming books, sign up for our newsletter at biteatatimebooks.com. You'll also find our new t-shirts in the shop, including podcast shirts and quote shirts from your favorite classic novels. Be sure to follow my show on your favorite podcast platform so you get all the new episodes. You can find most of our links in the show notes, but also our website, biteatatimebooks.com, includes all of the links for our show, including to our Patreon to support the show, and YouTube, where we have special behind the narration of the episodes. We're part of the Bite at a Time Books Productions Network. If you'd also like to hear what inspired your favorite classic authors to write their novels, and what was going on in the world at the time, check out the Bite at a Time Books Behind the Story podcast, wherever you listen to podcasts. Please note, while we try to keep the text as close to the original as possible, some words have been changed to honor the marginalized communities who've identified the words as harmful, and to stay in alignment with Bite at a Time Books' brand values. Today we'll be continuing Les Miserables by Victor Hugo. Chapter 11. Number 9430 reappears, and Cosette wins it in the lottery. Jean Valjean was not dead. When he fell into the sea, or rather, when he threw himself into it, he was not ironed, as we have seen. He swam underwater until he reached a vessel at anchor, to which a boat was moored. He found means of hiding himself in this boat until night. At night, he swam off again and reached the shore a little way from Cape Brun. There, as he did not lack money, he procured clothing. A small country house in the neighborhood of Balaguer had at that time the dressing room of escaped convicts. A lucrative specialty. Then Jean Valjean, like all the sorry fugitives who were seeking to evade the vigilance of the law and social fatality, pursued an obscure and undulating itinerary. He found his first refuge at Prado, near Bossuet. Then he directed his course towards Grand Villard, near Briancon, in the Hautes Alps. It was a fumbling and uneasy flight, a mole's track whose branchings are untraceable. Later on, some trace of his passage into Aisne in the territory of Civero was discovered. In the Pyrenees at Acons, in a spot called Grange de Domecq, near the market of Chevales, and in the environs of Périgueux at Brunis, canton of La Chapelle-Gonnet, he reached Paris. We have just seen him at Montfermeil. His first care on arriving in Paris had been to buy mourning clothes for the little girl from 7 to 8 years of age. Then procure lodging. That done, he had betaken himself to Montfermeil. It will be remembered that already, during his preceding escape, he had made a mysterious trip thither, or somewhere in that neighborhood, of which the law had gathered an inkling. However, he was thought to be dead, and this still further increased the obscurity which had gathered about him. At Paris, one of the journals which chronicled the fact fell into his hands. He felt reassured and almost at peace, as though he had really been dead. On the evening of the day when Jean Valjean rescued Cosette from the claws of the Thénardiers, he returned to Paris. He re-entered it at nightfall, with the child by way of the Barrière Monceau. There he entered a cabriolet, which took him to the esplanade of the Observatoire. There he got out, paid the coachman, took Cosette by the hand, and together they directed their steps through the darkness. Through the deserted streets which adjoin the Ourcine and the Glacier towards the Boulevard de la Haute-Belle. The day had been strange and filled with emotions for Cosette. They had eaten some bread and cheese purchased in isolated taverns, behind hedges. They had changed carriages frequently. They had traveled short distances on foot. She made no complaints, but she was weary. And Jean Valjean perceived it by the way she dragged more and more on his hand as she walked. He took her on his back. Cosette, without letting go of Catherine, laid her head on Jean Valjean's shoulder and there fell asleep. Thank you for joining Bite at a Time Books today, while we read a bite of one of your favorite classics. Again, my name is Bree Carlile, and I hope you come back tomorrow for the next bite of Les Miserables. Don't forget to sign up for our newsletter at biteatatimebooks.com and check out the shop. You can check out the show notes or our website, biteatatimebooks.com, for the rest of the links for our show. We'd love to hear from you on social media as well.